And here we go. Hey, what's up, dudes? What's going on? Welcome to the stream. My name is Jordan,
I'm Xavier.
and welcome to Pixel Bitchin' Podcast. By our tag names, I go by AlterElement,
And I go by Nomad0x.
and we talk about geek culture, pop culture, and whatever the fuck we want to. Cause yo, it's Friday. Thank God it's Friday. We chilling for maybe 2 hours, depending on how long we want to stay up. And today we're going to be discussing post E3 games conference and what we saw live on stream and on YouTube. And yo, there was a lot of games that came out that were announced this year. There were some games that we knew about from last year. Man, there was just like a few surprises here and there, but mostly roughly, the same games that we knew about, like, the South Park game, God of War, all that stuff. But we're going to take this one thing at a time, one conference at a time. And let's start with EA. And as you see here on the screen, this is Need for Speed Payback, one of the games announced for EA. And what do you think about this game, guys? Like, Need for Speed Payback. Didn't it kind of look like Burnout a little bit? Or what's going on?
I didn't really get to see the EA conference too much. Uh, I did hear that it looks a lot like what's that movie?
Fast and Furious?
Yeah, they're like, oh, where's Vin Diesel?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I feel like all their games should turn into Fast and Furious on some real shit. Like, that's what Underground was, and everybody loved the Underground games. And
Yeah, I remember Underground. That was awesome.
yeah, I feel like everybody loved those games, and everybody loves the Fast and Furious games. And everybody's tired of playing like these realistic like driving games. You have Gran Turismo and you have Forza for that. Like, Need for Speed needs to be about speed, needs to be about craziness. It needs to be ridiculous in its nature. And I'm liking the way they're going, for the series. More Fast and Furious, like, type movies. Yo, Graham, in the back, what do you think about Need for Speed, man? Let me get your opinion.
I think honestly the last Need for Speed game I played was it Most Wanted.
Yeah, was that the one for the 360 or the newer one?
Further back, man, I played it on GameCube.
Oh, right. Yeah, I think they all came out like it was a multi-platform game where it was like, yo, it's for 360, PS3, PS2, all that shit. All they spread that game apart like a whore on Sunday. Damn, that game had like no chance, like no exclusivity. Everybody had a chance to play it, so that's pretty wild. Yeah, so wow, that's a long time ago.
It was a pretty solid game though. You got to give it that.
Yeah, it was. Like, what was the best part of Most Wanted? Because the one I played a little bit of Most Wanted, but Carbon was my game back in the day.
Carbon was another. Yeah, Carbon was a good one.
Mm-hmm. So what did Most Wanted have?
Burnout Paradise. Oh my God, that's my favorite.
Too bad they aren't releasing a new Burnout instead of a Need for Speed. God, those games are so sick.
So what's I know we have a long list. So what's the next game we're gonna be looking at?
Oh, okay. So we're moving on to. I'm gonna cut the trailer short here. I'm gonna do this super quick because I don't give a fuck about Madden anymore. But because apparently Madden now has a new story mode called Long Shot, where you play this character that you're supposed to care about, and he's from Texas or whatever, and they have like this in-depth story. So they're kind of going the route that they did for, I believe, FIFA. Have you guys played the newest FIFAs or anything like that?
I think all the sports genres are kind of going for that because a lot of it is like stat management and for those games, other than just regular skills while you're playing. And a lot of people are really into like fantasy football, so they needed something to kind of differentiate themselves a bit.
Yeah, I feel like that's always the key for like the new feature that they add in video games nowadays. A full length story mode of a character that we don't give a fuck about, you know? Like, I think they did it for like Fight Night back in the day, and people were like, "Yeah, but like I still want to create my own character. Like I don't give a fuck about this guy. Like the fuck, like."
Well, I think every game should have a decent single-player, non-online mode.
Yeah, I feel so too. But do you think it should be with a created character, or you think it should be like a set character made for the story? Like, how do you think fans should feel about that?
I think it should be both. Like, if you beat the story, it becomes an unlockable character.
Hmm. So you think it should be optional then?
Yeah, of course. Why not?
I guess. I mean, like, a lot of people want to see their creative player, like, in a story mode. But if there's if there's a character already created for that story mode, then that kind of takes the freedom out of that, mode. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm playing as this, like, scrub that I don't give a fuck about. Like, and I kind of want to insert myself into the story, So, like, I kind of want, like, maybe I'm a little biased here, because I remember back in the day when we were playing, remember Def Jam Fight for New York? And you created your character, and, like, you can, like, change his voice, the way he looks, his clothes, all that shit. That shit was awesome, man, back in the day. This is like, nah, man. Create a character here.
Can you find a trailer or something for Def Jam?
You want me to show that? Def Jam Fight for New York? Okay, I guess. It's gonna look rough, dude, because this is, like, old as hell, man.
We're old as hell.
Hold on. I think I could show, like, the cinematic. Yeah, here we go. For those of you in chat right now who are looking at this stream, this is like one of the coolest fucking moments in video game history. We're like, we didn't have none of these bitch ass fucking rappers and fucking skinny jeans and Twizzler fucking grills and shit. We had like real motherfuckers in the rap game. And like they made a fucking fighting game out of this shit, man. This shit was fire.
If anyone randomly comes into this, they'll be like, "Oh shit, this game? I didn't see this game."
Like, yo, man, like, I love this fucking game. But this is what I'm talking about, though. Like, in this game, you created your own character. Like, yeah, I'm gonna fast forward it. The story mode was cool because it took your created character and you added them in there. And then you had, like, D-Mob and Method Man and Red Man on your squad, And the way they, like, added your created character in the game was like the mugshot, like the created character through mugshots. That shit is sick. Like, yo, this game was fire, bro.
Game over. That's why I'm the champ, bitch.
Look at this shit, man.
Maybe we should get a petition to get them to do another one.
Man, it's tough because the guys who created the game, the developers were a Japanese company, and they don't exist anymore. So that's why Def Jam Icon was shit. Because it was a brand new, like, developer that made it. And they fucking destroyed it.
Someone still has to own the rights.
Yeah, I feel like it, but I don't know. Like, could they bring back the old rappers or whatever? Because the new rappers nowadays, like, who's left that's, like, could fit this genre, If you think about
why should we limit it? Like, we could probably just do this on Mugen, to be honest. Make it community based.
Yeah, and have Kendrick Lamar fucking throwing laser beams and shit. This 5'2" ass, like, doing combat or whatever. Oh my god. Alright, so we're gonna move on. Yeah, because Madden, going back to that, Madden, the long shot, new story mode. I don't know if the fans care about that or not. For me personally, I used to play Madden a lot back in, like, high school and college. I gave a fuck about franchise mode. That's all I gave a fuck about. I took, like, the shittiest team, like the Jaguars, or like the old Oakland Raiders before they got good. or like, you know, my Jets before they had like a decent roster, and like try to build them up to like something in franchise mode. And that's all I care about. So if they don't do any like new features with that game, I'm not in for it. Alright, so let's see. We have a long list of games to go through. This is like crazy.
Yeah, no, I'm not sure we can finish this in an hour.
Yeah, maybe we should just talk about the games that kind of like, you know, was like spotlighted for me or for us in the stream.
Well, let's start listing them out, and whichever ones grabs our interests or like really stood out, we'll stop it there and talk about it a little bit.
All right, so I'm going down the list right now. Agents of Mayhem. You guys heard of that one? It's basically like the newer Saints Row.
No, I haven't heard that one.
Okay, so I'll look that up. Agents of Mayhem. Trailer and gameplay. Let's show some gameplay for the fans out there. Some of you guys don't know, but it's the newer sandbox game that's like open world. You create your character. It's kind of like Saints Row, Grand Theft Auto, but even crazier. More superpowers, more abilities, more assets. Like they're the non-serious part of like the GTA clone. You know what I'm saying? So back in the day, you had your GTA game, and then you had your Saints Row game. And Saints Row was all about being a gang, fucking shit up, blowing the city up and shit like that, but to like a colorful, more crazy style. As you can tell, like look at this tree. Like this guy's a fucking stripper. like what the fuck is going on? This is crazy. It's fucking animated ass. Agents of Mayhem. I don't know like what's going on in this trailer. Apparently he's like a villain that you have to face now, or like he's a hero. I don't know. I'm gonna fast forward this. Yeah, so like this is like what the characters look like, and they all have their own intros.
I kind of feel like Ben Stiller needs to be in there.
Zoolander. Dancing it up, shaking the hips or whatever. Yeah, so this is basically another Saints Row, but with like each character is made for you instead of you making your own. They have their own ability. And I think it's like a co-op game that you all go through. And, you know, you have to work together. It's more co-op based than any other game that they ever made. I'm gonna fast forward again, try to get some actual gameplay in. They do a lot of introduction here, so I want to see some action. Like, I want to see some like destruction, shit blowing up. There's not too much of that right now, so let's see. Alright, so yeah, this is like a third-person shooter, ability-based. It does kind of look like Saints Row because all the purple in the background, everything looks crazy. They have like laser guns and like it's kind of like a modern city with like scientific weapons and stuff like that. And then you have like your skill trees that like increase your abilities, you know. So what do you guys think of this game? Like you guys said that you haven't heard about it or anything like that. What do you think about it?
Well, Graham here has been lost in a mountain for like the past 10 years, something like that.
6 years.
6 years. So he's
Lost
kind of
technology for 12 though.
So he's a little bit behind stuff. So I'll let him start because I think it looks cool, honestly, and I like the fact that like I like customization, but having specific characters that can bring out a story more. I think that's a little bit more engaging sometimes because sometimes you want to escape and you don't want to escape to your own self. Like, I know some people that would make a character and their character would be boring as fuck. So, like, the game would probably suck afterwards if they just went with what they created.
That's the best lead we have, I'm afraid.
Okay. That's cool. And each character is voice acted, so like every character amongst like the 12 that you can pick have their own voices and like own dialogue. So whoever you pick can respond to the situation. That's a lot of voice lines that they have to record, because like every character has to go through like the same scenario over and over again. But, yo, this game looks cool though. It looks like it's actually running at 60 frames per second, 1080p. This is looking nice, man. I like it a lot. It looks a lot of fun.
I'm getting reports that Gaunt
Not
has
bad.
put
Not
the
bad.
ancestral temple in lockdown.
Yeah, I definitely would play it. And you said it was co-op?
I think so, yeah. I think there's a focus on multiplayer and co-op.
So co-op story mode, then multiplayer online.
Mm-hmm. I believe so. If anybody in chat wants to like know what's going on, or if they know like anything, any details that we don't know, just let us know, and we'll probably like correct it or whatever. But we gotta move on to the next game because there's so many that we have to talk about. Actually, I want to get to like the brunt of like the conversation. You guys heard of the new Dragon Ball fucking game that came out? Like at E3?
Z Fighters?
Yeah, dude. Dragon Ball Fighters, the one that we reacted to on fucking stream. That game looks sick as fuck. Hold on, let me try to find like gameplay of like the game. It looks pretty fucking sick. Like, yo, this game it looks good, it plays good. Apparently it's like Marvel 3v3, but with Dragon Ball characters, and it's made by the guys that make Guilty Gear, and it looks fucking dope, man. Like, it won so many awards at E3, and I can see why, because it was like when I was watching the streams and like getting feedback on Twitter, people were saying like this game was like really accessible for like newcomers. So you had like your one button combos, but if you were good enough, you could easily like destroy them because those combos are unsafe on block. So like it made newcomers feel good because they can do these combos and feel good, and most of the buttons are safe. But like if you were an experienced like fighting game player, you know, you can tech out of moves, you can do advanced moves, you can do supers, do like crazy moves and like tag-ins, and it just felt like an old Marvel game, you know, back in the day when you used to go to the laundromats or arcades or whatever and like play fucking Spider-Man and Captain Commando or some shit like that. It looks pretty sick, so I don't know what this guy is doing, but apparently there's something going on. I think they're testing out the buttons, but what do you guys think about it?
Yeah, it definitely looks dope. Like, I'm excited. I'm a huge DBZ fan. I'm currently caught up on the Dragon Ball Super. Definitely a huge fan. I'm definitely glad to see them do something different as opposed to the stuff they did last time with like the 3D environment and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
It's something different in the 2D side fighting game that isn't like your typical anime or Street Fighter or Tekken. Like it's nice to see something that could possibly get into the tournament scene.
Yeah, a lot of people who play fighting games who are in the tournament scene, who are pro players, are really excited for this game. Yo, Graham, I know like you was in the hills, you know, in the mountains and stuff back in the day, but I know you've heard of Dragon Ball Z, man. What do you think about this, dude?
I remember me some Dragon Ball Z. I remember kids drawing all kinds of Dragon Ball Z characters and shit, but I don't remember a fighting game that looked like this.
Yeah, this is like their first time doing like a 3v3 Marvel style 2D, you know, Dragon Ball game like this, and people are excited, you know, because it's different from the 3D fighter, because the 3D fighters, if you played 2 players, you had to like split the screen in half, and it was kind of like it was weird, like, you know, and people didn't really. It attracted the Dragon Ball fans because, you know, it was, you know, you could fly up in the air and, you know, fly around and shit like that, but it wasn't like a true fighting game, you know. And now they have something like this, which looks sick as fuck. Did y'all see that? Sheesh. Look at this. They have Pursuit, level 4s, Supers. Damn, I need to find some like like advanced gameplay, because like I feel like these guys are just feeling out the buttons or whatever. Yeah, because there's a lot of people on YouTube complaining about I wish these guys knew how to play, because all it is people standing around.
Yeah, it's just probably people standing in line trying to play the game, and they're just streaming off of that.
Yeah, so like apparently this game was a lot of people's like game of the show. Like a lot of people were impressed by this game.
Like
It looked really awesome. You know, and like, it
it
won like 25 Game of the Show awards at E3.
I wasn't too
Like
sure
the-
exactly how
it was
to use
packed,
it, but you
like,
could absolutely use it like a
It won a
red
whole
pencil,
bunch of
and your
them
character would
like,
get
for
this
this
giant
one
red
game
ring
because you
around
know
them,
it's Dragon
and it would
Ball.
be engulfed
Nobody,
in red flames
everybody's
for a
heard of
little bit.
Dragon Ball
And no
before,
one could
so
really
it's.
figure out what exactly was
But
going on
it
with
looks
this thing
fucking
other
good.
than
It
if
plays
did
good,
hit
so
your
that's why
opponent,
a
it
lot
would
of
send
people are
them
like,
into a
"Yo,
stun
this is
state.
game of the
So
show
if
right
you had
here."
a super long and
E3 game of the
ridiculous
show,
combo,
so it
you could
looks
essentially
pretty
do this at
fucking
the end of
sick.
it and keep the combo going.
Yeah, that
It's
is awesome.
pretty
I haven't
damn good,
really,
although I do
like,
think
I've been
it
working
works
all
in a
week,
similar
so
fashion to a burst of some kind in Guilty
I
Gear,
haven't really,
although
and I
don't
work late,
believe I've
so
been
I
able to
miss all
burst out of
the
things yet.
good
It's kind of hard to remember. I did play
presentations
about
since
40 hours
everything's
of the
on
game, and I didn't get to test that
Pacific
mechanic
time.
directly. But there is something that
I mean,
acts
that's
like
what we
a
here
flight
for,
game
man. We
cancel, but a
get
little
to
bit
chill
easier.
out, watch these
That's one
fucking
thing I
trailers and
definitely gotta
shit,
mention with the game.
react
It is
to them.
absolutely and
The
more
like,
accessible
I didn't
fighter
even
than
get to
something like
catch
Guilty Gear
the
Xrd, which is
the
kind of
Sony
difficult at a
conference
surface
because
level,
I
and
was
it
just
takes you a
like,
while to get good at,
I don't
and
know,
then
I
when
was
you get good
busy
at
at
it,
the
it gets
time,
really
so
good.
I
I
heard
was
that it
lucky
wasn't
enough
great.
to be able to catch it at work because
Like
it
I
was
said,
kind
it
of
takes a lot
slow.
of stuff from Marvel vs.
It was kind of
Capcom
slow
2,
that time.
and the biggest one
Yeah,
is
I
the
was
universal
definitely
combat
grateful for
structure.
that.
The things you can
True,
do with
true,
the
true.
characters.
I heard the conference was like kind of lame compared to like their previous ones, you know, because they showed a lot of games that they already know, that people already knew or whatever.
There was one really cool move that you can do.
I still think they had the best presentation. Well, I didn't see the Nintendo one, and then the Devolver Studio one was ridiculous. Like I saw that one.
That was time. That's like the type of shit you see in like Adult Swim or whatever.
Yeah,
It was weird, man. It was fucking crazy, dude. I probably won't play the Devolver because it gets a little graphic or whatever.
What do you mean, dude? Like,
But using that in conjunction with how the combo system works was allowing me to figure out some pretty
graphic
long and
stuff
hefty.
has nothing to do with this show.
I guess. You know, as long as it's not like hentai or whatever. That's
Yeah, as long as it's not nudity, I think we're fine.
yeah, pretty much, dude. Let's see. But first, let's see. We already went through Microsoft's, because I kind of ignored EA's kind of.
Why don't we go through the ones that we didn't cover?
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. Because I think we did Microsoft and I think we did EA.
Well,
And-
we covered some EA because they mentioned it in the Microsoft one, but we didn't really cover entirely EA. And
We did Bethesda and we did Microsoft.
right.
Yeah, so now I think we have to do Ubisoft, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Ubisoft is the next one. And
Why not? They got Far Cry.
Yes, which is a big topic, along with.
let's bring up Far Cry 5.
Yeah, you haven't seen it, Graham. So this is gonna be interesting for you.
Always is.
Alright, so 4 days ago, I'm bringing up the trailer now.
Hey guys, this
Can
is
you
Dan
put the
Hay,
volume on
executive
that?
producer on Far Cry and the creative director on Far Cry.
The volume's up.
Today, we want to show you the world of Far Cry 5 and introduce you to the little town of Falls End, which has been overrun by a fanatic cult. In Far Cry 5,
Is this
we want to
gameplay
give you
or trailer?
guns for
I
hire
think this is
system.
gameplay.
Guns for hire,
Yeah.
fangs for hire. and friends for
Yeah,
hire.
I think I accidentally hit. Yeah, here we go. It's
Boomer's your
gameplay.
dog, perfect to run
Alright,
around
let me
world
find the
and tag
trailer
enemies.
for
And
it
Grace,
because the trailer is kind of
she's the quiet snake.
crazy. And it's in like, it's here in America
Cult of Moon's
actually.
Gate is
So
basically taking over all
It's
of
not a
Far
bad
Cry.
looking game.
And you and your guns for hire are taking it down.
It's really crazy.
I switched it, so I think it might be a little delay
We're
over
gonna send
there.
Grace
So
or
let me
Sharpshooter
go ahead and
to the
actually
water tower and get
find.
ourselves
Water
some cover
tower,
fire.
got it.
No, that's not it. That's not it. Okay, okay. Here's the trailer right here. There's the reveal trailer.
Something is coming.
Word.
You can feel it, can't you?
Is it full screen for you guys so you can see it and hear it?
You can feel that we are creeping
Alright, cool.
towards the edge. I know that you were out there.
Oh, okay. There's words though. Couldn't hear anything, but since there's
I know
subtitles,
that you
that
are in
helps.
pain.
I have it on highest
My
volume,
children, I'm
so...
here to tell you that suffering is a choice, and you can choose a better path.
Yeah, I guess that's.
I have it on high.
There we go.
Accept you, and we will take you, willingly or not.
There we go.
And some of you may fight, but in the end, you will thank us. I am your father, and you are my children.
The end is upon us. I shall lead you to the gate. For you are my children, and I am your father.
PS4.
Alright, what do you guys think of it?
Looks interesting like any Park Ride game.
Oh yeah, here in Montana,
Last remnants of the resistance
Alabama. Oh, Montana or Alabama? I can't.
It's
What's it,
Montana.
It's Montana, right?
Up there
Okay,
in the
yeah.
bushes
So
is
it's
where
Montana here in America. Some
And
like,
Montana.
Perfect. Definitely.
and it's like a cult that you gotta like stop
It's time to
because they're terrorizing the city, and things get kind of real.
I'm down.
So here's a little bit of gameplay for those who haven't seen it yet. It looks basic Far Cry, but you know, we all love Far Cry.
Oh yeah. I wonder if they're gonna have anything crazy like in the last one with the grappling hook and what's it called? The thing you fly with.
Hang glider.
Hang glider, there you go.
Yeah, I remember the hand gliders. Those were fun.
I guess it's rough, man. It's rough to get used to, though.
And the
Yeah,
fucking
they-
elephants from Far Cry 4? Sheesh.
You can do the combo so you can like infinitely fly with the grappling hook and the hang glider. But it doesn't look like it has anything too ridiculous as far as game mechanics.
It just looks like basic Far Cry, but then like the locales.
Flying and tractors and
A little bit more realistic than the other ones.
Yeah, like I love the I learned to love Far Cry because of the Bond villains that they have. You know, like they
Yeah.
always had like these crazy villains, like starting from 3. You know, with Voss and then like Pagan Man, and then Primal didn't really do that, but now they've gone back to the Bond villain type. You know, that has like the extreme personality that everybody remembers. Like, okay, I like that form.
What do you think of the main villain's voice? Because I remember last time when you saw the trailer, you were like, he needs to sound like Loveless from.
I'm kind of disappointed, man. I'm kind of disappointed. I wanted the southern twang.
Loveless from what's that movie?
Oh, Wild Wild West.
Yes.
Y'all remember Loveless from Wild Wild West, man? That man was fucking hilarious, dude. Oh man, like if he didn't sound like that dude, man, and he doesn't. Like he kind of looks like a hippie, kind of like no, not a hippie, like a hipster kind of guy with like a man bun, but he's like teaching the Bible and he's in a cult, and I'm like, I don't know if I like this dude, like design wise, you know. I kind of wanted the, you know, the Loveless, you know, welcome, you know, welcome to Montana, you know. We don't like, you know, I wanted that southern twang in it, you know. We don't appreciate the dark meat around here, you know. I wanted that actor. I wanted like someone to like compliment that Loveless scene from Wild Wild West.
We'll see when it comes out.
Yeah, we'll see when it comes out. We'll see. Cause I don't know, man. Something about racist villains with like personality, it strikes a chord with like a lot of people, but you remember them, you know. Like there's not like good villains have like shitty intentions.
Like, racist, just have a good personality.
Yeah. Like that's why everybody loves Frieza, because like from Dragon Ball, because Frieza, he like low key he was racist as fuck. He used to call Goku fucking monkeys all the time.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So that was like, yo, that's wild. So like, yeah, give me someone like that. Apparently your camera is freezing on Skype. Just give me a second. Alright, so when I switch, alright, okay, should be back to normal. Okay, so alright, so we've seen Far Cry, Assassin's Creed Origins, pretty much the same shit, but it's in Egypt now, and it's made by the same team that developed Black Flag. So they've been working on this game.
It all begins.
Yeah, so
so hopefully this is where it all ends too, and they come up with a new IP.
Yeah, honestly, I just wanted them to bring back fucking Prince of Persia, but whatever. I'm so sick of this fucking Assassin's Creed. If they're not gonna do anything cool with this,
the movie and the last Prince of Persia.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm playing the trailer right now. It's in Egypt, which I appreciate. But can we get... I'm tired of these, like... I'm speaking from the heart here, so, you know, real talk.
Alright.
I'm tired of being located in, like, Egypt, right? And they get these, like, super light-skinned dudes, man, to represent us. Like... Damn, son, where's the melanin, man? Where's the you know what I'm saying? Where's the dark fucking characters? I never seen a dark skinned character.
At least have some people that are sunburned, you know.
Like Jesus Christ, man! Like there are other races other than like light brown, you know? Like they keep doing these like, oh, he's black, but he's like sort of black, you know? He's still light skinned, and they're represented a lot in media, but not like the dark skin, you know? Idris Elba or Don Cheadle dark, you know what I'm saying? Like
right.
Charlie Murphy dark, you know what I'm saying? Darkness is. Fuck your couch, nigga. Fuck your couch. Yeah. Like, yeah, man, I miss that show a lot. But yeah, this is Assassin's Creed Origins. I wasn't really too impressed with this game. Not at all. It kind of looks like the same thing. As we see here, he's just tailing. He's trying to find like his next target. I'm gonna try to fast forward as much as I can. This is the new mechanic, using the bird to like scout enemies.
What has happened?
Right, which is supposed to replace the whole climbing up a tower to scout a specific area.
Yeah, I think that still might be in it. It's just this is like a faster way to scan enemies instead of like the actual location. This is how you like tag enemies and you know where they are when you're infiltrating like their fortress or whatever. So, and like the character models still look kind of shitty, you know. It's Ubisoft, and don't buy an Ubisoft game on fucking PC because apparently they don't know how to optimize the games well on PC. Apparently my Assassin's Creed 4 still runs at like fucking 45 frames.
What?
And the game came out like what the fucking 6 years ago. Like what the fuck, man? They still haven't optimized this game. Alright, so we got some gameplay here. We got some stealth tactics, some Breath of the Wild slow motion arrow to the face.
Yeah, the combat's supposed to be a little bit different too.
Be careful.
Yeah. The combat is coming up. Actually, yeah, I'm a fast forward to that. So he kills 2 people. Actually, let me go back to it. He kills 2 people here. Goes and takes loot. And then like there's like this new menu system where you can pick up weapons now. Instead of like using them temporarily, it's kind of like a looting system. Kind of like in Borderlands where you like pick up a weapon and the stats might be higher than like your old weapon or whatever. Which is kind of cool or whatever, right? Because
yeah, it kind of gives you a little bit more to do in the world.
Mm-hmm.
That's a little bit tedious.
You know, like beforehand you had to like buy weapons from like a shop or whatever. And you had to wait till like story mode to like advance and get you like better weapons. But now this one you can just pick up better weapons and use them and replace them. So I think that's a lot better.
Yeah, they're probably just making it more of an open world RPG.
Mm-hmm.
So they're probably trying to. I think you can do. Another big thing was that you can do all the missions in different orders. They don't really matter as much anymore. Like, at least the majority of them don't matter. So,
Like,
I think they're trying to make it more open world so that you don't feel so like you can do different things. Sort of like I think they should take a big like influence from Hitman, especially the last one. Like, I was definitely very impressed with how many different options you had to approach the mission and how different NPCs even reacted to certain things that you did. And I think more games should concentrate on that kind of interaction with gameplay. Like your NPCs should have a little bit more going for them at this point.
yeah, I feel the same way about that too. And also, I don't know. It's just there just needs to be a little bit more. And if you guys like were watching the stream earlier, the gameplay, the combat's changed. Like it's kind of like more of a Dark Souls target and like strafe around kind of combat instead of like hitting counter all the time, you know, which is a big welcome change because I was tired of Assassin's Creed combat. It was fucking terrible.
Yeah.
All you did was just like press counter and then like you attack, press counter and you attack. It was like a shittier version of like the Batman games, you know? And the Batman games really utilized the counter system a lot better than any other game, and it slowly improved, but Assassin's Creed didn't really do anything to improve that system, you know. And now they're doing like a Dark Souls kind of system where you strafe around, you have like your parries and your attacks, your break defenses and stuff like that, but it still kind of looks janky as fuck because it's Ubisoft. Like, so, and here's some more gameplay. You still climb buildings the same way, which is not bad. I love parkour and climbing stuff. I have no problem with that. That's like one of my favorite things about the Assassin's Creed series. Yeah. You know, parkouring and automatically climbing over, you know, stuff. That's fun to me because it reminds me of like Prince of Persia and Prototype back in the day.
Right.
So I do love that system. It's just there needs to be something that sets apart this game, because apparently they took a year off to make this game. but like there's nothing showing us that like, yo, what did your year off show you or teach you? Like
What's
what,
new?
you know?
Yeah, I wonder where they're going with this. Because if this is the origin story, are they planning on ending the series, or are they actually going somewhere with the whole what's his name and being observed and his memories being tracked and stuff? Like, I feel like that needs to have a little bit more progression.
Ooh, so I guess you haven't like, because that story's kind of over. Like,
I gotta ask, which came first, this or the Phantom Pain? Because they both kind of look similar and they both kind of follow the same formula.
I mean, this is the newer game. Phantom Pain came out 2 years ago.
I mean, was that not an origin story?
No. Phantom Pain was not an origin story.
What? PS1, right?
Phantom Pain, that's Metal Gear, right? Yeah, that's Metal Gear. The origin story was Snake Eater for the PS2. That was like a prequel. And you have
right. That's still technically a prequel to the first Metal Gear on PlayStation, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like kind of the same thing. You ride on a horse and be all stealthy, kill people or not.
I'm gonna have to step out for a sec.
Alright, go ahead.
Do your things in whatever order.
Yeah, it's pretty much like that. Game.
You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, gameplay wise, it's like that.
Yeah.
Mhm. So that's not bad at all. So nothing's really impressing me here with the actual gameplay, like at all. It all looks the same.
Yeah.
It all kind of looks like Phantom Pain and the old Assassin's Creed games. Like, there's nothing really here that's like blowing me away.
Pretty much where I'm at.
Yeah, so I'm just. What, are you looking at the mountains or whatever?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, it's pretty much the same gameplay. Yeah, so I'm gonna wait till Xavier gets back. So you said you played like old Metal Gear games, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you
Pretty
said
much like anything after PS2 and I kind of drop off.
That's understandable. I mean, there was a huge change in graphics and stuff, and games are getting a little weirder.
And more expensive.
Yeah.
That was a big thing.
Yeah, games are getting way more expensive, and I literally had to sell my PS2 back in the day to get an Xbox 360, and I had to wait a long time to get games because shit was stupid expensive back then, and most of it wasn't really worth it because like the $80 games or $60 games or whatever back then when the Xbox 360 came out were only 4 hours long. So
yeah.
So like what the fuck?
Like, why do I even want to pay $20 for it? Let alone 60.
Exactly. Is that Xavier playing music in the background?
I don't know what that was.
Yeah, so it kind of reminds me of that. You know, like why would I pay for this game if it's not like if it's the same shit, you know? Or, like why would people pay $60 for this game that pretty much doesn't do anything? Like brand new, something interesting, something cool, all the above.
Pretty much $60 for another excuse to play the damn game.
Yeah, that's how everybody's feeling. I mean, like the mechanics for it is cool, but there's nothing new that's like.
And I'm sorry, you can't tell me the whole Hey Dow thing wouldn't be lethal at times.
Exactly. It is crazy. Yeah, I think we can go to our next game. The other game that Ubisoft was presenting, I think it was South Park, Fractured But Whole.
That one looks cool.
Let me. Fractured But Whole. That name is still dumb. Like.
I don't know where they're gonna go next, cause last one was fantasy. This one is superhero. So what's next? Maybe horror?
Might be horror, might be sci-fi.
That'd be cool.
That'd be cool if they did like a Star Wars parody or stuff like that.
Why would the Freedom Pals help us? We send a spy.
Would they have
Someone in
like
our
a whole
group
planet
pretends
that's
to wanna switch
Canada?
sides and join Freedom Pals. Somebody who they don't know very well. All that's fair in love and war,
Customize your own character. I do like the theme of
Whatever
this.
you did last night got a lot of people's attention. Bad people. If you need information, just know you can rely on.
I wonder if they're gonna do the whole, like they did with the whole anime episode.
So I guess now
Maybe a
any fucking
whole
asshole
game
thinks they
that's
can be
like
a
that,
superhero.
or maybe they'll integrate it into this.
We're gonna rip you apart.
Mm-hmm. Like the theme of superheroes is kind of cool, but like South Park superheroes and the way they're making fun of like franchises.
Hey, at least they're making fun of stuff.
Yeah, that's
what they do well.
yeah. They do that so well, making fun of fucking everything, dude.
Everything.
Every fucking thing.
You must listen to me.
Get out of my head, Timmy.
Your franchise is going nowhere. Face
Even
the
his
truth.
dialogue.
You guys are kind of douchebags.
He just called us douchebags in my mind. He did? Southpaw. The
I just
friendship,
realized
but
Timmy
who?
is Trump.
Available October 17th.
Say again.
Yes. Timmy is Trump.
You think so?
Dude, he had the blue suit with the red tie.
Let me see.
In my mind. He did?
This is going nowhere. Your franchise is going nowhere.
I thought he was Professor Xavier, but he does have like
Look at that.
the same. It's weird because it's like the same fucking like. He has the same colored hair, the red like the big red tie. It's kind of like
Owl, the big head.
it's like a weird fusion of Trump and fucking Professor Xavier all at the same time. That's crazy. Yeah, so South Park looks really cool. That game looks pretty sick. I'm trying to think of the other Ubisoft games that they released. That they showed at the conference. Let's see. They had South Park. They had. I'm trying to. I can't remember the conference at all. Like, damn! I wish this was like actually organized. Like, it's organized in like alphabetical order, but I kind of wish they had it organized in per conference. You know, per. Microsoft had E3. Yeah, there's no Ubisoft game deny.
Okay, Steep was the other one.
Yeah, Steep, but I don't really care for Steep. Do you? Or
Not really. And
Yeah.
then
we can move on.
The Crew 2.
Do you care about the Crew?
Not really. Skull and Bones.
There we go. Let's show Skull and Bones, because that one was pretty awesome. It's basically the pirate boat fighting from Assassin's Creed Black Flag.
Yeah, they took that and made it so much better, even though I haven't played Black Flag.
Yeah, apparently it's so much better. But yeah, man, it looks. That's pretty funny. So, and the weird thing about this trailer, it's fucking like. This trailer has a remix of Seal's "Crazy," but in like a softer tone.
Alright, I'm gonna mute the mic and put the volume on this.
Alright. Trailer's pretty sick. I like it. This is what everybody wanted. Woo! Look at this. You can hear the song in the background. There it is. There it is. Woo! That trailer is good. That is good. But wait, there's more.
That if I did not kiss the girls, my lips would grow a moldy. Way ho away, we'll haul away.
Oh, here it is, here it is, here it is. This is my favorite part. Woo! That means that you will be fighting not other than pirate ships. You will be fighting giant fucking monsters as well. Against krakens, Loch Ness monsters, all of that shit, dude. That's gonna be dope as fuck to play, I definitely gotta.
That's awesome.
That's pretty epic.
Yeah, I gotta show gameplay for this.
The wind is a pirate's most precious skill.
Yeah, so yeah, I can't wait for this game because I really love the sailing in Black Flag.
To reap the most reward.
Oh, there's also that other pirate
split
game.
up. Some going inland,
others
keeping to the open sea.
As awesome, but it looks just as fun.
Yeah, this is very
Each
visually
warship
pleasing.
has unique strengths.
It's a beautiful
frigate's
game.
hull is reinforced.
It is. It
its
is.
arsenal equipped with numerous
The
cannons.
other pirate game you're talking about was in the Microsoft conference.
The
It
brigantine
was
is devastating up close.
hold
With
on,
a battering ram designed
let me turn this down. It was Sea of Thieves. Yeah, Sea of Thieves for Microsoft. But this one looks much better, you know.
mortars.
Yeah.
Precise long.
I like the multiplayer feature of Sea of Thieves. That one seemed like a good multiplayer game. This one seemed more like a single player game. I'm not sure if I mentioned it or not.
This is multiplayer though.
Well, I'm saying as far as like, the other one seemed multiplayer as far as within the ship.
Oh, right. Yeah, and this one,
everyone has their own ship.
Yeah, everybody has their own ship.
Don't let bloodlust cloud your purpose. You're here for the loot, and so are your rivals.
Store the goods, then back to your station.
The team that escapes with the most loot claims victory.
Fantastic.
That's pretty cool. I like it a lot.
That's truly epic. That's awesome. Look at that.
The only thing is, well, this one.
Searching for more targets on the
like
horizon.
one thing that I like
Our
about Sea of Thieves is
spots a
that
rival
you
pirate
are
ship
able to
further
do
inland.
riddles in order to find treasure on island. Skull and Bones right now, all we've seen has been this ship fighting. Not exactly looting or treasure finding or anything, it's more just ship fighting.
So is it like RTS? You can control the ships, or what is this?
No, this is the actual, like, you control the ships, you target with the left trigger, so it's kind of like a third-person shooter, but with a ship, with a giant ship.
Okay, I'm with you.
Yeah. Sea of Thieves is a first-person exploration game that's pirate-themed. You go to different islands, you go underwater, and you search for treasure with your friends. And you and your friends work as a team to man the boat and like get treasure and try to get as many adventures and treasures as you possibly can. And that's pretty much it. Like it's two different games. Honestly, I like this one better because I'm so used to Black Flag and like I love the one-on-one pirate ship battles, but I can see how somebody else would love Sea of Thieves because it's exploring the world itself, you know.
Well, like,
and this one you can't really explore. Like when you board a ship, that was just a cutscene, you know. So.
Well, like I was saying, well, for me it's kind of more of a disappointment because, yeah, the ship battling system is cool, but it's fucking called Skull and Bones. You're fucking pirates. You're supposed to be looting and shit, not just fighting everyone in the ship.
Riding one badass game mechanic.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing. Like, just call it like the Spanish Armada or something, not Skull and Bones.
I guess. I feel like, yeah, I'm a little disappointed that you don't have the same freedom as in Black Flag, when you can get off your ship or whatever, and you can board another ship and take over, recruit people. Like, there was a lot in Assassin's Creed that people loved, that I feel like they took the bare minimum, which was just the ship only, and they didn't do like in Black Flag, you can go out and you can fight ships, or you can go to like different islands, stop the boat, jump off the boat, and like find treasure.
This was like a visually appealing boat fighting game.
That was so cool about Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Like, you had so much freedom in the game.
Well, I hope this is just like one mode, because honestly, if this is just like all the game is, then this isn't as exciting as I thought it was.
Yeah.
But if it's like crash mode for Burnout.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I wish there was more modes implemented into the game. And then finally, they revealed Beyond Good and Evil 2, which a lot of people were excited for. I was super excited when I heard about this, because I loved the first game. I still have it on my 360. You know, I play that game like once a year to like kind of refresh myself. Like,
I actually haven't played the series, so
yeah, it's a pretty old game, and you can tell a lot of people who don't know about it are still kind of like, what is this game? The game
I went on a huge gaming hiatus for a while. That's why I'm not too familiar with it.
It's fine, man. A lot of people went through that. A lot of people went through that. And basically the game is kind of like a fusion between like Zelda and I'm trying to think what else. Maybe it's like a mixture of games. It's Zelda, there's a little bit of stealth in it. There's a little bit of platforming in it from like Jak and Daxter, so it's kind of like a culmination of games. But like this interesting world of like anthropomorphic animal people, but in like a futuristic world. So you have like future. Actually, it's better to kind of like show than tell. Let me find it.
It's Beyond Good and Evil. What studio is that, or was that just a Sony presentation?
No, that's Ubisoft. That's Ubisoft. So.
That's Ubisoft as well.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. I'm not seeing it in the list.
It was more like a trailer. It wasn't like an actual game.
Yeah, I see this.
It's currently in development. So no, I don't want to see no access. I want to see the damn trailer. What the fuck? Here we go. Beautiful. The trailer was great.
But I do have your little toy.
Like this.
I'm gonna pause mute the mic again so that we can hear, because Graham hasn't seen it.
Okay, so I'm gonna start it from the very beginning so you guys can hear it. And I won't talk. So this is their reaction.
As your master, I don't deal with domesticated.
Hey, the fuck? I ain't got no master, but I do have your little toy.
Show me the idol. Show me the Redeemer.
Here you go, mate. Yo, hand it over. I got a hot date. Don't do late.
Monkey's got a date.
Mwah.
What? What?
What? That's Swiss fucking chocolate, pig. Bon appetito.
I want every fucking cop in this fucking city after that fucking bastard!
Grab my chassis, Noxie!
Easy, bro. Bang, bang, motherfuckers! Fuck me.
Damn!
I love this trailer a lot.
It's about bloody time. Let's see what we've got. Moksha. Just as Yama described it. True freedom lies beyond.
Yeah, that's that good shit, dude. So what do you guys like about the trailer, man?
I gotta say, honestly, I was with it up until the point that they flew off in Samus's mask, but it was pretty cool looking.
Yeah, so basically a lot of fans are excited about this trailer because it's been like 15 years since the last entry for the game.
It looks absolutely amazing, man. Did you look at their mouths when they were talking? That was believable. That was pretty good.
It's pretty sick, but that's just a CG trailer that's yet to be a lot of like gameplay or anything like that. They just announced it's in development, so
it's still better than any movie that I've seen yet.
Yeah, that was pretty sick, dude. And a lot, yeah, it looked really awesome, and I liked like the dialogue. The Noxie, the monkey, has like an English, I don't know what they call it, but it's like an English fuckboy kind of like dialogue or whatever. It's so weird,
right?
You know, and that, like, yo, it looks good. It looks really promising, like, and a lot of fans are excited about this. I didn't get my Prince of Persia game, but the fans got that Beyond the Good and Evil game, so I'm happy about that.
Yeah, what about episode 3?
Oh man.
I think we'll get it eventually, and I think it'll come out in VR.
Prince of Persia or this?
Half-Life 3.
Oh, Half-Life 3. Okay, Half-Life 3. Oh no, dude, they're never making a game again. You know they're not gonna make a game again. they're making so much money doing Steam and development shit that
they had Portal, they're done.
Yeah, they're fucking good. Like,
you got Portal, you're set.
No, everyone's competing. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting the next couple of years with Steam because there's definitely been a couple of people that have been trying to compete, but now more of like the bigger players are competing on their own. Sort of like the like Sony, Microsoft. They're all pretty much placing their bets against Steam.
Why not?
They're the competitors at this point.
Amazon, Whole Foods, anything's possible.
Yeah, didn't they buy him for like $100 million? $100 billion? Sorry.
Google bought YouTube a while back. Nobody seems scared.
Yeah, a lot of people were kind of concerned about that. Well, YouTubers were concerned about that because they were like, "Google's taking over fucking YouTube. What the
Facebook is
fuck?"
actually telling it.
Jesus Christ! So a lot of buyouts and a lot of systems that's been happening. All right, so
a lot of megacorps going on, you know.
Yeah, hopefully not too much monopoly. We love free enterprise here in America. We love competition. It's better for us, cheaper for us too. Because if only one person's making a product, then
that's the story they tell us.
Yeah, exactly. Nobody wants to see that. Fuck that. All right, so Xavier, you said you saw the Sony conference, right? We'll do a little bit of Sony, Nintendo, then we'll have our final thoughts to end it off, like to round off everything, because we're just hitting the one hour mark. If do you guys want to take a break or anything like that before we go into Sony, or are you guys straight?
All right, we're straight.
All right. So no break. We'll chill here. Let's talk about Sony, man. What was your biggest thing that you seen from Sony, like some of the games?
I don't know. Overall, I like Sony's presentation. They pretty much hit on every point that they were concentrating on. They did their exclusives. They did their cross-platform games. They did their big IPs. And I know right now that people are kind of angry and upset about Sony not supporting cross-platform play. But honestly, I kind of understand it in the sense that for Microsoft, it's not a big deal because with cross-platform play, they have two grounds covered. They have their PC market, they have their console market. Yeah, Sony makes PCs, but they don't make software. They don't make operating systems. So the only real big control they have is their Sony environment.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, if it wasn't for Sony and Nintendo, to be honest, but Nintendo is a different market. I think Nintendo has pretty much monopoly on the portable market, especially with their new console, which is both. But with like Sony, I think Sony is what's keeping the console market going. Because let's face it, like a mid-tier PC is the same amount as a brand new console, and a mid-tier PC can do a lot more than a brand new console. Yeah, maybe they have dedicated graphics and can play specific games a little bit better because they're optimized specifically for that, but the cost does not override the function.
Yeah, I feel like the Scorpio might have been a little bit too much for the price or whatever, but it's a business, so people have to, and I feel like they weren't going after like newer consumers. I think they were going after people who want to upgrade their Xbox to have a more powerful experience for the Xbox. But Sony is sticking with their forte, and I feel like that's a really good thing that they need to do because they really don't have control over anything else, like you said. Like they need to stick to their guns, which is Blu-ray and fucking consoles. Like, focus on your games. Make your games legit, you know? Make them care about it.
Like, as soon as you make Sony cross-platform compatible, there's no reason to have exclusivity. As far as a studio, as a game developer, if you can play cross-platform, then as a console or big corporation like Sony that is reliant on the console for their business, you're gonna lose out on a lot of money that way. And it makes sense. And yeah, we're fucking fanboys and we'll bitch about it, and everyone's gonna complain because they want this all idealistic thing. But we're fucking adults. Like, get real. Businesses need to make money. They need a profit, and that's how the world works. We're just have to be thankful that what we're getting, like, people are bitching a lot, but it's been less than 40 years, and video games has gone from like a square pixel to these amazing things that outdo movies. Like
trailers for video games for mere entertainment.
Exactly. People need to have realistic expectations on what's going on in the world and how the world works. You can't get everything you want, and there's no such thing as PC, because once you go PC, then you have no entertainment.
Yeah.
But I'll stop my rant because it can go on forever. Let's continue with Sony. I like all the stuff that they presented as far as games.
What are those games?
Uncharted, Days Gone, Detroit. I'm not too big a fan of Call of Duty, but Destiny 2 looks cool. God of War, I'm so fucking excited about that.
Yeah.
Horizon Zero Dawn, the Frozen Wilds look awesome. I think that's just a DLC though.
Yeah, it is.
Monster Hunter looks awesome, but I think it doesn't have too much depth. I think it's more of like, oh, look at these dinosaurs that you can overcome and stuff. Doesn't really have too much story depth. And then Shadow of Colossus remaster looks fucking amazing.
I feel like that's like a full remake that they're doing. Like, it's a new engine, new textures, new character models. Like, it's like a full remake instead of like, you know, like the remaster came out for PS3, so I feel like this is like a remake of Shadow of Colossus, and hopefully they add like some extra content to it, some like more Colossuses, you know, or Colossi, more enemies or more story bits, and you know, more people that you can run into and stuff like that. Hopefully they do something about that. Hold on, let me show the trailer for the newest one.
I just want to say, to me, it's impressive. Sony's almost like infrastructure at this point, from freaking cassettes to damn Blu-rays. You know what I mean?
Like, it's crazy how like far we've come. You know?
Generations of Sony. It's been, you know what I mean? They've been around for quite a while.
Yeah,
obviously they're doing something right.
They've definitely been a force to be reckoned with, as far as.
So eat your heart out, Microsoft.
Well, like they have their hands in so many things. Like they have one of the best. They have the movie market almost cornered. They make some of the best photo processing gear ever. Like
some of the
most
best audio editing software I've ever used. My favorite. Just saying, SoundForge Acid.
And of course, Blu-ray, which is now a standard format for media players, which has to license it through Sony, so they have an exclusive right on this next-gen technology that they started off. a long time ago, and now it's becoming commonplace. They're gonna be sticking around for a while, and they probably will hold off on the cross-platform stuff for a minute, but I think eventually it will fall. They will do the cross-platform, and they'll strictly stick with their, well, not really strictly. They'll stick with their IPs, but they have a lot of content that they can use. Especially, like I said, they're a movie studio. They have a whole bunch of IPs that they can use other than just video games. They have music access as far as artists and stuff. So it makes it really easy for them to do exclusives.
They can do what they want. They
Exactly.
don't really need whatever. Yeah.
All these other game companies, they have to pay out a lot of money for exclusives. Anything dealing with music, they have to pay royalties. And it's a lot harder, a lot more hurdles to go through. But Sony, like I said, they have kind of a monopoly. They've been around for a while. And I think they're probably going to stick around for a while. And people just need to realize, I don't know. Personally, I think Sony is keeping the console game going.
I'm kind of with you. I think if I wanted to get a console, I'd look at a Sony more than anything because they've got enough exclusives to keep me entertained amongst all the other cross-platform games that come out.
And at this point, most of Microsoft games are you can play them on Windows 10's computer.
Yeah. You can.
With your Xbox controller if you really want it.
Yeah, like the only games that I play now are games on PC and Nintendo, because Nintendo will always be exclusive. They will always have their legit exclusive Mario, Zelda, Splatoon. They have their own IPs, and they're getting better and better. Depending on what do you think of their low performing, not low performing, but like a lower tech handheld device, but it's on fire because everybody's buying it. But Sony has their own, like you were saying before, they're making it big time right now. I don't think Blu-ray is going to die anytime soon, but digital and streaming services are really taking priority over these Blu-rays though. So it's kind of like a fight as well.
Sony did purchase, I forgot what the name of the company was, but before the PS4 came out, in the middle of the PS3, maybe even a little bit before PS3, they bought out a company that pretty much were doing the whole streaming games through the cloud. And you can stream whatever game you want. It was like Netflix for video games.
Like a GameFly type thing,
yeah,
online or whatever.
Exactly. They bought it out completely so that they can work on their
in the market
online stuff, and I think that's what they're eventually going to get to, because they've put their flag on that, and they haven't really flexed that specific muscle yet.
Yeah, but I feel like people will always love their physical copies, so that's always going to be a thing, Physical copy collectors will always be a thing in video games.
Only for the next 10 years, and that's really being optimistic about that.
You think so, man?
Yeah, dude.
You think so? Because people are still selling CDs, and people are still selling, movies and Blu-rays and DVDs, So it's just like...
It's up to when the technology companies quit producing them, really. They just finally quit producing VCRs, last year or something. Year before last, not that long ago.
Yeah, so... Because, there's better technology for it, so it's people are still buying physical copies, and those sales are not going to go away until people actually are to a point where where the standard is everybody has a 4 terabyte hard drive, you know what I'm saying, to hold up all their content or whatever. But not everybody has that,
I think honestly the next format is going to be USB, like a USB key kind of thing. No more CDs, no more DVDs, no more Blu-rays. Like you have USB keys right now that are like close to like 250 gigs.
I've got a 128 gig USB stick. Mine behind the times ass. As a 128 gig USB stick that I bought for like 25 or 30 bucks on sale.
That's crazy.
I think it was 20 bucks was the reason I got it, and that's like a hard drive. Are you kidding me?
So
128 gigs. It's beautiful.
Yeah, that's really good for a fucking USB stick. That's a lot of space.
Isn't like a dual layer Blu-ray like 48 gigs or 40 something, close to 50 gigs?
Yeah.
Something absurd like that.
Mm-hmm.
An original CD was 700 megs. The DVD was 4.7 gigs, and now we're up close to 50, and it's the same exact size. Are you kidding me? It's a different light spectrum.
Yeah, man. And soon, like you said before, that's why Nintendo is going back to cartridges, because cartridges can hold more data.
Solid state tech, that's where it's at.
Yeah, man. Yeah, dude. See, we're on the same wavelength, Xavier. And
But
Graham.
now they don't have CMOS batteries in them. Like the old Game Boy cartridges that had the little batteries on them.
Because
the button cell batteries or whatever.
the only reason those cartridges had CMOS batteries
Save
was
files.
for save files. But now the way they have it is the save files are saved on the actual.
Like an SD drive, an SD card.
Yeah, it's saved on the
But
actual
even they have-
console instead of the actual disc or the cartridge.
But the problem with solid state tech is it's got a limited number of reads and writes.
They've improved that immensely.
Yeah,
But
like
at the same time, I guess a CD still is going to scratch before you could ever, you know what I mean, wear it out.
like the Nintendo cartridge is like, it's like a size of like, I don't know, it's the size of a quarter. Like, it's so small, but it has so much memory in it.
NES cartridges.
This is
For
Game
example.
Game Boy and
This
Game
is
Boy
Game Boy.
Pocket and Game Boy Color.
and this is Pokemon Yellow.
Mm-hmm.
It's disastrous look. I'm surprised.
It was
It's
just
probably
that
still
yellow.
plays though.
It probably does. I know the Pokemon game, that Pokemon game in Gold and Silver had an internal clock.
It wasn't the clock. It was the CMOS. That's what we were talking about.
Oh yeah.
Battery.
That's what restores the memory.
Yeah, that's crazy how that.
Yeah, otherwise it's all read only. It's crazy, yeah.
All right, so we're extending this a bit further than we've been meaning to. Let's get back to Sony.
It's fine. It's fine.
And,
Hey, they're great, even though we're
So-
just talking about Nintendo.
Pretty much, I was about to move on to Nintendo. Like, we already know what Sony has. I showed a little bit of what they had. What was your favorite game of Sony, Xavier?
I was excited about Detroit Become Human.
All right, so I'm gonna play the trailer for that one because that one.
It's a new IP. I like the concept. It feels like Watch Dogs, but I hope it's a little bit more refined. Well, you're pulling up the trailer, but if for anyone that's listening,
I'm pulling up gameplay.
the whole premise is that probably near future-ish, there's androids around and they're becoming, well, they're already pretty much self-aware, but they have like a governor, like they have a limit. They have something programmed inside them to keep them from doing their own thing. And there's this one dude, which is the main character, which I'm assuming is the character that you're playing as, that's going around trying to start the android revolution and pretty much get all the androids to be free and not be enslaved people, which I am a huge fan of the cyberpunk genre.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely huge fan. And it's one of those pretty common topics that gets talked about. And I'm excited to see it in game form. And hopefully it's not... Hopefully it's engaging and not trying too much. Like I
Not
hope
overdone. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Like I feel like a lot of games lately, they force mechanics. They try to make things unique with mechanics, and sometimes you have to rely on a really good storyline. And you kind of have to railroad people sometimes. But I'm really hoping that this surpasses what Watchdog was. I was excited about Watchdog. I never played it though because I saw other people playing it, and it just like instantly became boring to me. It wasn't really intriguing. The storyline was kind of interesting, but it looked like you did the same shit over and over again. But you had it was GTA with tech. And I like GTA series, but I get bored really easily. And unless you can draw me in on a unique storyline, if you put me in an open world environment, in any open world environment, I'm gonna do the exact same shit. And I'm gonna get bored with it because I do the exact same shit in every single open world environment, which I don't understand why people like specifically open world environments that much, because I like to escape, but that's just my own opinion.
I can appreciate it, whether it's, you know, you're in an open world and you do things at your pace, or you're just on a rail and
Yeah, so
you have something playing in the background?
Okay. What was I about to say before that? That was, yeah. So this is kind of like a game like Heavy Rain, where you make decisions. Things are, you know, the way you play the game will not be dictated. Like it's not played out for you. Like what you decide actually happens in the game, and if your character dies and the game still moves on or whatever, like what happens in like Heavy Rain. So you have to choose your choices wisely, because the game will continue if you know you pass, like if you die or like press a button wrong or adjust to a situation wrong. So this is like, as you see here on stream, this is David Cage, and he made like weird Indigo Prophecy and fucking Omicron and like, you know, Heavy Rain. He makes all these like weird story-based games that can't be played the same way like over and over again, you know. Like your choices can be different and they affect the world around you in a different way. And a lot of people are intrigued by the way you played this game because of the decisions that you make, and it affects the actual world, you know, and not just like some predetermined story that you have to sit through, you know. So when you play these characters, especially these android characters, it's like, whoa. Like, you know, like when you're around the water cooler, you sitting down and you're like, yo, what if Skynet took over my cell phone or some shit like that, you know what I mean? Or like, you know, like you talk about Terminator and shit like that. Like, what if our fucking computers, like, destroyed like the whole country or whatever? Or those scenarios in your head, or like, yo, what if we actually did have robots like now, you know? Will they rebel and shit like that? That's the interesting part that I feel like, yo, Nomad over here is talking about, where, you know, cyberpunk can get really interesting because are they human? Are they not human? Do they deserve rights? It's kind of like iRobot mixed with like, what's the movie? Ex Machina. Have you guys seen Ex Machina?
Yes, I have. I absolutely love that movie.
Damn, that movie was so crazy. Oh my god.
I honestly did not expect that ending, and I was grateful for it. And it took me, let's see, after the movie came out, it probably took me 2 years after the movie came out for me to watch it. And not because I didn't want to watch it, just because I just didn't have the chance, and I just happened to watch it, and I definitely 100% enjoyed it.
Yeah, man, it's crazy what happens in that story. So it's freaking ridiculous.
Like, all these topics I'll get a little bit real with you guys. I'm a little bit inebriated, but this is a topic that shouldn't be really overlooked. Like, this is something that we will be facing as a human species, and a lot sooner than later than people probably think. And that's what I find fascinating, especially with all the conflict that's going on, especially racially based conflicts and stuff. Eventually, we're gonna get to a point where we will overcome racially based conflicts, and we're gonna do the exact same thing that we did with races. We're gonna do that with androids and AI and robots. And as much as we would like to think that we wouldn't do the same thing, just because it's something that we made, we will end up having that kind of God complex and overlook the whole fact that we created this artificial being that is actually life and self-thinking, and we want to completely control it in a slave-like manner. So
let's not scare the viewers. But that's super deep right there. Like, seriously, that's literally our future.
Cyberpunk.
Yeah,
like that is like the main focus of a lot of cyberpunk genre, and how we consume technology and how we use it and how it's gonna consume us.
Side of it we don't consider, yeah.
But that's why, like I said, I like the concept of Detroit, and I hope it's a really good storyline and not just a sandbox game with cool mechanics like a Watchdog was.
All right, that's.
What are you excited about with Sony?
Take that food for thought. I'm about to move on to Nintendo because we're kind of pushing the time here, and I showed a lot of Detroit Already Become Human, and the game looks really interesting. So for the people who got a little glimpse of the trailer, go ahead and do your own research because that game it looks pretty cool. But we're gonna move on to Nintendo. Nintendo came out with some with some crazy news actually. The basics. They showed like at the end of the conference they had their Mario game, Odyssey, which looks fucking fantastic. We noticed that there's a new Kirby game coming out and a new Yoshi game that's coming out. I'm a fan of Kirby, so that's really cool. But a big surprise here. The biggest Metroid Prime 4, dude.
Yeah.
Like, people have been waiting for this game.
I don't play games. That's how it is.
People have been waiting for this game for the longest time. Like, Metroid Prime 4 was on everybody's radar.
Are you kidding? There's 2 generations of games on my list. I got some catching up to do.
Yeah, man. Well,
any new Metroid is ahead of me.
Yeah, I mean, well, by the time this game comes out, because they literally said it's now in development, so it's now starting to be made. It's been announced. Go play the previous ones when you have the chance, man. The previous ones are really good.
All of the ones after the original Game Boy.
Yeah, it's I think
I didn't see the trailer, but is this it?
Oh, did you see the trailer for it?
No, I haven't. Just now I did.
Oh, okay. It literally just said now in development. It literally just said that.
I was honestly expecting a little bit more.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that's pretty much all they did. They were like,
it's out of the mask or something.
It's coming out. See you later. Yeah. So I'm gonna move on because that news is incredible, but let's actually see gameplay and stuff like that. This is the new Kirby game that just has been announced. It doesn't have a full title yet, but it's coming out for the Switch. It looks great. It's about time Kirby gets another good game. You know, because I'm a huge Kirby fan, and there's a lot of old and new within this game, and it's 4 players, so it's a co-op Kirby game. So it kind of looks like the one for N64 mixed with like a little bit of Smash and Kirby Deluxe.
Yeah.
Power-ups here are pretty sick. So I'm really liking the way they're going with this with the game so far from Nintendo. Yeah, because Kirby is looking really cool right now. And then I'm gonna move on to there's the old school Nightmare in Dreamland Kirby. Everybody remembers that game from like Super Nintendo, you know, way back in the day. We had to suck up the apples and you had to shoot it at the tree, and that was like a really cool boss fight that you had to.
Yeah, that was my shit. You kidding me?
Yeah, man. Those old school games, man, they're still good, you know. And here's another Yoshi game. I wasn't really too impressed with this. It's kind of like another easy, take your time, relax Yoshi game. Pretty simple. It's just called Yoshi. That again, it doesn't have a title, but it looks nice. I think it's also co-op.
It's like Paper Mario on crack.
Yeah. Yeah, but your Yoshi is still like yarn. So it's like paper mache and yarn all at the same time.
Oh, what is it? Little Big Planet?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
It kind of reminisces of Little Big Planet, yeah.
Did you ever play Paper Mario for 64, I think?
I played it, I think, yeah, I played the GameCube version and I played the old one. Either it was N64 or Super Nintendo, I can't remember.
I think it was 64 if I'm not mistaken. It was an interesting game.
I'm pretty sure it came out on Game Boy.
Like one of the Advance or...
Game Boy Color, I think.
I remember Paper Mario.
And here's like the new Super Mario Odyssey trailer. Honestly, it looks fantastic. I'm gonna turn up the volume so you guys can see it.
It almost looks like flour. You know what I'm talking about? We go around, pedal. You drink.
Has a theme song and everything.
Here we go, off the rails. But you know it's time to raise our sails. It's freedom like you never knew.
That's pretty cool.
Or a pass, say the word, I'll be there in a flash. You could say my hat is off to you. Oh, we can zoom all the way to the moon. This great wide wacky world. Jump with me, grab coins with me, oh yeah. It's time to jump up in the air. Jump up, don't be scared. Jump up and your cares will soar away. And if the dark clouds start to swirl, don't fear and shed a tear, 'cause I'll be your one-up girl. So let's all jump up super high, high up in the sky. There's no power up like dancing. You know that you're my superstar. No one else can take me this far. I'm flipping the switch. Get ready for this song. Let's do the Odyssey. Odyssey, yes, Odyssey, yes.
This game looks really good.
So, Graham here has several comments on this game.
Oh God, I don't remember them now. They just kind of fell out. I don't know. It kind of looks like what was that? Mario Party meets Super Mario Sunshine / Paper Mario.
Yeah, it's like a whole bunch of genres mixed into one. A whole bunch of Mario games.
It was like they had one good idea in every Mario game, and it took them all and put them in this.
Pretty much. And this Mario game is the first Mario game to be made in Unreal Engine. That's crazy.
In under how much time?
So what?
You broke up with that last part. In under how much time?
I said it's the first time that Mario was made in Unreal Engine.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Unreal. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's funny. I'm sorry, but that's funny to me.
That's crazy, right? Like all this time you see like HD remasters of like fan projects like, yo, what if I made like Super Mario Sunshine and like Unreal, Engine or something like that. Now you have an official fucking Mario game made in Unreal Engine. Unreal Engine 4.
Are you serious?
So that's crazy, right? So the whole time they were like, no, stop doing the fan projects. We're doing it ourselves. Like, we're making this game.
Fucking nuts. Unreal Engine. I can't get over that because I think UT, like Unreal Tournament, that was my shit.
Yeah, now it's a fucking Mario game.
That is exactly my point. That's why I think it's funny. Flat cannon, Super Mario Brothers.
Damn, man. Fucking killing spree. Now fucking Mario throwing hats and shit.
Mega kill.
Mega kill.
Monster kill.
Gling, gling. Collecting coins and shit. Like, yo, this is like a whole different spectrum.
Coin killer.
Killing spree. Yeah, so yeah, Nintendo had a lot of good games to come out, and they announced it. In their previous conference, they said that there's a new Pokemon game coming out for the Switch, which is in development, and it's gonna be it's gonna be like a new RPG style open world Pokemon game. So people are like speculating what type of Pokemon game it's gonna be. Hopefully it's not turn based anymore, And it's for the Switch. It's for like an actual console. So
I don't know. I think the turn based is still pretty appropriate for Pokemon. I heard about this announcement even though I didn't see the conference for Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is a huge indicator that...
Are they stepping into fighting games?
No, I think this is a huge indicator that the DS is going to be dead.
You think so? It's weird because Nintendo just announced that they will be supporting the 3DS after 2018.
But for how long?
Yeah, that's the thing, right? They announced that, but why would you continue it if your new console is a console handheld hybrid? Why would you continue?
How with the new console?
I think there's a huge aftermarket market that they can go after, and also I think they're just trying to keep their legacy systems going for as long as possible.
I wouldn't blame them because the 3DS is super cheap, and to make games for it, it's again super cheap, and people keep buying them, and they keep buying them, and they're not gonna stop until everybody has a Switch and everybody can like. It'll be nice if the Switch can play 3DS games. For some reason, it doesn't.
They will. I think they will with the marketplace that they have going on with them.
Oh yeah, well, people are gonna have to re-buy the games and stuff. Yeah, that's gonna be rough for the first year if they actually like. Okay, now we have a 3DS virtual console for the Switch.
Well, they announced something similar to like Netflix, as far as you can pay like $5 a month and have the entire Nintendo library that you can play on the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to Nintendo.
So, like I said, they're trying to ease everyone into the Switch, since at this point, like, it used to be that all the consoles came out at the exact same time to compete with each other. But all the consoles right now are fragmented as far as release times.
Quite scattered, yeah.
What kind of things they're offerings. And like I said, we're getting pretty close to the end of consoles. At least that's my personal opinion. And they're trying to keep it going. Nintendo has the market cornered on handheld, which makes perfect sense to make their new console be a handheld as well.
And a console,
So I wouldn't be surprised. Like I said, they're gonna support the DS for a while. That just because it's still gonna make money for a while, but I do believe the Switch is the permanent replacement of console and portable. It's gonna be one and the same, and it's gonna forever be one and the same as far as for a Nintendo product.
True. I agree with that.
So let's see what else is going on. Xenoblade Chronicles 2. What do you think about that?
It's gone full anime, and a lot of people are like, I don't know if I like these character designs, but the gameplay, from what little we've seen of the gameplay, looks pretty sick, and people are excited about that. There are more games coming out for the Switch. Pokken Tournament XD Deluxe version is coming out. Fire Emblem Warriors is coming out soon.
We already heard about that though.
Yeah, we already heard about those. Splatoon 2, that's going to come out this month. Arms comes out today. It came out today. Well, yesterday. It came out yesterday, which was Friday.
And Rocket League.
Yeah, Rocket League for the Switch. We know that was coming. So
yeah, it's still a big announcement, especially for portable multiplayer game. Like I think, like I said, they're trying to corner that market, and that's going to be their entire focus. That's why they've stopped competing with Sony and Microsoft a long time ago. They're doing their own thing.
Yeah, you might as well. You might as well. And like going back to like Mario and stuff like that, like if you're gonna be a game studio, or like going back to like Rocket League, and then like expanding your games out to more than PC, you're gonna have to find a niche. Like everybody loves Rocket League, and like you might as well put it on the Switch because everybody's buying one, and it's a good game to like take it and go and add little Mario assets to it. I think that's a really good idea. It's a fantastic idea. And, like you can't compete with them anymore. You have to just do your own thing, and I feel like Sony's realizing this. Nintendo been realized this since like the fucking GameCube. They've been doing their thing for like the long. They don't give a fuck anymore. People are still gonna buy their products because of legacy alone.
They stopped competing after the Cube.
Yeah, after the GameCube.
Once Wii came out, that's when they were like, we're not competing with the other consoles. We have a niche. We know our niche, and we're fully gonna take advantage of it. Mm-hmm. And it's been able to compete with them.
Now I'm going to switch over to the nighttime segment.
This again is another point. We can't really talk about where we are in the
All right. So are there any other games in the Nintendo lineup?
No, that's pretty much it. And so
were
far,
there any games that were coming out? Like I'm looking on the IGN page for PC, and they didn't have very much on that.
They mostly announced like DLC and stuff for like XCOM. I know Davon Sanders. I know he's super excited about that. Like he's like, "Yo, XCOM DLC, that's an instant buy for me. Everything else is scrub tier." So
he said his body is ready.
Yeah, that's the first time I actually heard him say that. So. Usually he's shitting on every other game, but now his body is ready just for XCOM DLC, which he claims it's too fucking hard for. So, yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, the final game that I want to talk about is the Ubisoft / Nintendo game, Mario plus Rabbids, which is basically the XCOM. Yeah, the like, it's the Nintendo version of XCOM with Mario characters in it. It's crazy how how did that game get made?
I have no idea, but it looks very interesting. I do play it.
How did Loaded or Reloaded get made? Did you ever play those? Y'all remember that far back?
What was the game?
Loaded for PS1.
Wasn't that the top-down shooter?
It was. Oh my god.
All right, I'll be right back.
Actually knows what that is. That's incredible.
Yeah, that game was actually pretty fucking fun.
Until you got to Reload it and hook for more and realized it was the same thing.
Yep. They just threw it in your face and they didn't care. It
Yeah,
was
they used the same map editor, same engine, just copy and paste.
Mm-hmm. I mean, back then, before we had like gaming magazines, like Game Informer, like the internet was like a really big thing. They could do whatever the fuck they want and charge money for it. That's how a lot of games got through. Like,
yeah.
A lot of shitty games because nobody was really reviewing games like that. So,
and the few that were being bought to say that it was good when it wasn't.
No,
you know what I mean? Reviews.
That's crazy. Like, quality of games nowadays, it's like it's so important because if your game isn't good enough anymore, then or if your game is falsely advertised, you're gonna get shit on.
Well, and the other thing is, it almost seemed like there for a while, like, after PS2, it was like, okay, they're going to ride this for a while, and then PS3 hit, and it wasn't long after that PS4 hit, you know what I mean? And, like, Nintendo with the Game Boy, and they have, like, 10 different kinds of Game Boy. They don't even call them Game Boy anymore. Like, it's like, are they giving the developers a fair shot at being able to develop their games efficiently on these different systems? Like, that's another consideration. I kind of like a gap in between systems.
Yeah.
And I feel like Nintendo's putting some consideration into this.
Yeah, I think that's why Nintendo is like.
Let's face it.
Yeah, Nintendo's the king of like polish for their video games. Like, their games are really polished and they're really good, and they're not as buggy as every other like platform or whatever because they take their time. They have designated teams for these games, and they come out great. It's just they don't produce a lot of content because they don't have a lot of teams.
But let's face it, it can't be perfect.
Yeah, you can't. You can't be.
They're getting damn close every time. I'll give them that.
Mm-hmm. Like, for right now, it's just... Yeah, for right now, like, that's why I play a lot of Nintendo games. I still have my Wii U, and I still have my Wii and stuff like that because, like, they introduced new ways of playing a video game other than controller, and some games did it right and some games did it wrong, you know? And I still play the games that did it right because it's an interesting new way to play. That's why people are so interested in VR, because it's a brand new way to experience a video game. It's a brand new way to experience media in general. Like, imagine you're in your house or whatever, and you have your VR headset and shit like that, and you're playing Resident Evil 7, you know? That game is scary as fuck. Or...
you get lost.
Yeah, you have your headphones in, and you're completely secluded into, like, this virtual world, and you're watching a movie, you know, that's specifically designed for VR, or, like, towards VR, where you can, like, feel like you're in the movie. People want to experience new ways, like, to see older and newer media, you know, and that's why I kind of like Nintendo a lot. Sony has been, like, on fire with their software, like, for their games, but they really haven't done anything mind-blowing in how you play the games, and the same thing goes for Microsoft. That's why I love Nintendo a lot more, because they're trying to figure out ways to play games in a more, like, innovative way, but still simple and fun, where everybody can pick it up and it's more accessible. That's why I respect the shit out of Nintendo for.
Well, I definitely do for the exact same reasons, but that's why I also respected Sony, because they actually spoke about VR games and supporting that format, and I felt like the only, like, Microsoft announced a fucking new console, and it was fucking underwhelming. Like, the only thing they had to say about the new console was you can play everything in 4K. Like, that's all they had to say about it.
Yeah.
And not a lot of people can afford a $500 console plus a 4K TV, which 4K TV, that's at least minimum $400.
But take account that they do have the super sampling for 1080p TVs as well, which is it's a pretty good technique for making games look really good on fucking 1080p, interlaced or projected.
But like I said before, like for that exact same price, I can buy a PC.
Yeah. You could buy a PC
and 1080p, and
then
plug multiple monitors and do multiple things at the exact same time.
And dream about a PS4 for me.
True. But like, did Sony even announce any VR games? Like, did they?
Yeah, they had a whole segment of VR games.
What was it? Because that's the thing I kind of don't remember. There was nothing to me that really popped out for the VR segment. You know, they said that they were working on it, but what new games?
It was right in the middle of their segments, and they didn't announce too many stuff. They revealed the Impatient, Bravo Team, Star Child, Skyrim VR, and Final Fantasy 15 Monsters of the Deep VR.
Okay, it's the fishing game, right? Monsters of the Deep for Final Fantasy 15. I remember hearing about that. It's like,
but they at least announced at least 5 games for VR, as opposed to Microsoft, where last year they spent a good amount of time talking about the HoloLens, and then this year they didn't even talk about it once.
They didn't say anything about it.
And heck yeah, they have a better console or whatnot, but this new console has nothing to do with the HoloLens. It's not showing anything new. All it can do is 4K.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And that's why I kind of like that's why I feel the whole console scene is about to die soon. Is because the biggest reason all the consoles came out at the same time was to compete with each other. But right now, they really don't have that much to compete with each other, other than a creative new way to play the game, exclusive IPs, or cross-platform compatibility. And that's all three. That I pretty much just mentioned the 3 major players. Unique gameplay goes to Sony, and not to Sony, to Nintendo. IPs goes to Sony. Cross-platform compatibility goes to Microsoft. And that's pretty much what they're trying to do. They're looking for the best aspects that they are able to pretty much promote and make money off of, and go with that. But like I said, Microsoft didn't have very much on its end, I don't think. Especially console-wise. They're definitely taking away from their console by putting everything onto PC, which I love it because I'm more of a PC player, but like I said before, the only player keeping console alive is Sony. The only player keeping portable consoles alive is Nintendo.
Yeah, because some games I kind of prefer controller. Like if it's Gran Turismo, oh my god, talk about a showcase for Sony.
Mm-hmm.
Gran Turismo, the whole franchise, beautiful, everything about it, flawless. The controls are perfect, and it needs that PlayStation controller. But if it's like Half-Life, Portal, any first-person shooter, Jesus Christ, UT, Counter-Strike, I don't care, any of them. I need a mouse and a keyboard, plain and simple.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about comfort, and it's all about the controls, and it's all about...
I'm kind of torn on the console PC wars, but at the same time, if it were, $350 to dump into video games, whether it's a console or a PC, I probably would go for the PC, because I could also edit video, edit audio, and all kinds of other shit.
Yeah.
kind of thinking consoles might be on their way out, or it might be monopolized by Microsoft, where you can buy it for your computer and have it for your Xbox too.
Hold up. What's this video you have playing? 'Cause it's showing the HoloLens.
Yeah, this is like old HoloLens like footage or whatever.
Oh, you got my hopes up, man.
Last year.
You look at that, 850-some thousand other people.
Well, there is like HoloLens from a month ago. I'll play that video if there's been any improvement on it.
Is this like a Star Wars fight in your living room or something?
Well, and
that makes it very hard to
Yeah, I've been
find
gone for a while. I've been stuck in the
which
woods
is all.
on a
Each
mountain.
and every stairlift needs to be
HoloLens instead of
customized to
VR,
make a perfect
AR.
fit. The
So,
chairlift allows our
it's
customers to
Altered
access
reality.
all
Okay,
floors
gotcha.
of their home.
Yeah, it's augmented, so you can still see the world around you,
It's
but
like a
like,
Star Wars fight in your fucking living room.
yeah. I honestly I prefer this one than VR for like comfort and like duration. Like I can do
Microsoft HoloLens is a fully
AR more than
self-contained
VR
wearable
because I won't get a headache
It enables
or
you to
anything. I
interact
won't
with your
get
digital content,
sickness and I can see where I'm going.
3D
You know?
holograms into the world.
Well, I think
Once we
AR.
got the hand on the
way
HoloLens,
AR
it was an
going-
eye-opener.
AR
for us.
is
You
for
just put the
interacting
HoloLens
with
on, and then you scan the staircase,
VR
and then start
is
to measure
a
every
It's for
step.
ignoring the
HoloLens
real
guides you
world.
through the
Exactly.
process.
It's a complete escape.
But that
And
was just
along-
the beginning. We realized
Not
that
too long ago, I read a
HoloLens is
book,
not just another methodology of measuring a
can't remember the
staircase,
name
but
of
is
the book or
actually
the author right
performing
now,
digital
because
data
I'm reading.
capturing to the
But
cloud.
With the advent of the
Who the hell's playing music? Damn it, music player.
database in our accounting systems in real time and forward
Alright, dudes. Well, that's pretty much it for the E3 post E3 conference conversation.
Oh, that's outro music. Gotcha.
Sounded like my man was playing Autowild in the background.
You're playing the stop speaking music. That's what it was.
The wrap it up box. Right?
The wrap it up. No, it's getting past like 2 hours, and I need to like document this for YouTube because we really did have like a really good conversation about E3. What are you guys' final thoughts about the like from what you heard about the new games and stuff like that?
There's a lot of cool stuff going on. There's things. We're reaching a plateau, and it's going to be interesting once that plateau ends. That's my final statement.
I'm further behind than I realized. That's my final statement. And I'm okay with it.
Yeah. I felt like this E3 was proof again that people are still hyped for E3 conferences. I feel like a lot of people, still look forward to it. Now that this year that E3 was open to the public, a lot of people, even though people saying that the event itself was kind of like too dangerous, too crazy, like it was a super long wait because there was a lot of people since it was open to the public, obviously. People are still looking forward to seeing those new press conferences and newer games and stuff being presented to them. But companies,
I think it's a little lackluster from the previous E3s.
I think we have plateaued. I have to agree with that.
Yeah, but
I can't say it's bad. It's not that it's bad. Don't get me wrong, but I think we've peaked. We've officially peaked. It's not going to get much better.
Like seriously, all the E3s before this, it's always been like, oh, we're the cutting edge. We're doing new stuff, new hardware, new software, better graphics. This year, Microsoft presented a brand new car by Mercedes, and Sony had a band playing in the beginning of their conference. Like, what the fuck was the innovation?
Yeah. Not every E3 conference is gonna be fucking amazing, and you can't be not all the time. I'm gonna tell you, before 2015, where we had like the Shenmue and the Final Fantasy VII remake, the E3 conferences were really bad. So it's always up and down depending on like what company has what, results that they need to show. Like right now, we're in the middle of
really bad. They tried really hard, which was just as entertaining. Now it's kind of just like, it's almost like watching a TED conference, which I love TED conferences, but it's like there's not too much differentiating it from any other conferences.
That is true. I just feel like there's what was I thinking of from before?
The Wolfenstein.
Oh, I lost my train of thought down. Oh fuck it. It doesn't matter anymore. Like yeah, from previous consoles or whatever, we're in the middle of a lifespan where the PS4 is out, and we're not gonna see like a brand new console because the Switch has already been revealed. Scorpio isn't really anything new because it's a mid-grade PC that costs $500, which is ridiculous. And I don't even know why people were hyped for that because we knew it was still gonna suck compared to a PC. So like that was no fucking surprise. Like we're in the middle of like a console lifestyle until something brand new comes out.
The Scorpio or PS1X or whatever it's called, it's a gimmick. Like it had nothing new to present other than the whole 4K thing. The PlayStation Pro made sense. The only reason the PlayStation Pro existed was so that they could adopt the whole VR platform. The Xbox One X, all it has is the 4K video. I know they were trying to compete with the PlayStation Pro, but the PlayStation Pro had a purpose.
Yeah, and that was to have the VR, accessories from the side, which basically cost the same as the fucking PS4, and people still use that sometimes, but they're, it was something, it was something that you bought a PlayStation Pro for, and like the benefit was you had VR, but you also could play games better on that PlayStation 4, like PlayStation 4 Pro. And Xbox is pretty much saying, well, you can play games better on our system. It's the best console ever. But that's just it. Like, if that's the case, then I'll just buy a PC. Like, what else are you making this console for? And that's why I'm seeing, like, where you're kind of disappointed in Nomad. And I feel like that's the thing where it's like, what's the point of me buying this if you're not going to have, like, a better Kinect or better VR or better something to pull me in as a consumer?
They have no real hype behind it.
Yeah.
And it's funny because the last E3, they were talking about, every single company was talking about it being the last generation of consoles and stuff like that. And I think this is Microsoft's final push into being like, hey, we're going to just throw this out there because Sony came out with the Pro. We need to come out with something new because we really fucked up last year.
So, hey, buy it.
Exactly. We didn't have enough exclusives. We didn't have a very nice user interface. We sucked last year, so let's fucking just put out a new console so that people can forget about our fuck-ups last year. And the only thing this new console can do is 4K.
Yeah. Yeah, and they think that everybody's still going to fall for that 4K nonsense. And there's not much 4K content out there. And there's not much 4K TVs that are, like, retail price really good because they're still expensive as fuck. And honestly, you won't need 4K for another 5 years. Like,
don't need it now. Like
exactly.
in 10 years,
Like,
I don't need current HD right now.
Look at Blu-ray. It's been around for what, like the past almost 10 years.
Wow, yeah.
And it's just becoming standard.
Yeah.
And by the time 4K becomes the standard, I don't think there's going to be a need for consoles. Everyone's just going to have a PC or mobile version of a PC. And
honestly, I'm waiting. Yeah, honestly, I'm waiting for the first modular like PC. Like my prediction for a console, right, is like instead of building your PC or whatever, like either Microsoft or Sony is gonna make a PC that's like modular. So it's like you have like little building blocks that all you have to do is just slide it in instead of like screwing stuff in. They're gonna make like a.
They're already doing it with phones.
It'll be the controller.
Yeah, like like the building block for the phone, like the Motorola one, like where you can like.
Project Aria by Google.
Yeah, like you can just fit little pieces together. So if you want like bigger memory, you're gonna have to sacrifice that for like the camera or whatever, and like the power supply. You like fit that on and shit. Like it's completely modular. Like I don't understand why like PCs aren't like that. You know, instead of like buying like random motherboards and stuff, why not have those in like set pieces that all you have to do for like an average consumer is just plug it in like the socket and that's it, instead of like screwing shit in, having thermal paste and all that good shit. Make a modular console, you know, PC that's like super accessible for like the customers, so they don't have to deal with that.
There's the Beagle Bone, there's the Raspberry Pi. All those mini platforms, they do exactly what you're saying, but it's more of a hobbyist thing right now, not
enough to justify going full production for the masses.
Exactly, and we're seeing, and the same devices, same components are being used and stuff that are being used right now, like
been for 30 years.
The Amazon Fire Sticks, the Google Cast stuff.
I still need to get me an Amazon Fire Stick, a jailbroken one, so I can do what I have to do.
But like I said, the hardware is out there, the software is out there, but it's not mainstream to the point where we're seeing it everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of changes. We're gonna see a lot of crazy stuff in the next 10 years, most definitely 5 years. We'll definitely see some interesting stuff in the next 5 years. In the next 10 years, the world will be a completely different place.
The world, like 10 years ago, people had flip phones, you know, like.
And we were impressed at particle effects and bloom.
Yeah. Like the like lighting systems were like brand new to people, and like. Yeah, dynamic blooming and different particle effects and like dynamic shading and weather effects.
Yeah, that's it. Milk drop, I love it.
We went from milk drop to beyond good and evil too.
Yeah, like we've come so far in like a short little time, you know, like.
Really? It's incredible.
Yeah, you're completely right. So. Yeah, these are our final words, man. We're kind of a little disappointed in these conferences. I'm kind of like in a public perspective. I think it's really cool that they finally let public in to see these games now, to let them see and experience what like the show is for or whatever. But aside from the press conferences, before being Xavier, we're giving it like an A and a B and stuff like that. But now that we've like seen the grand scheme and had time to reflect, now it's kind of like, yeah, these conferences are kind of C grade and lower, you know. They're kind of really disappointing because nothing really happened other than Ubisoft showing off the Beyond Good and Evil 2 and like, you know, Nintendo announcing Metroid 4. But that's pretty much it. There was no, you know, there was no matching kit to the new Scorpio, you know. And also, right, The Scorpio has like a fucking water-cooled vapor chamber, right? For the console. How is the average consumer supposed to maintain that? It's water-cooled. When you have a water-cooled like fan or whatever, or a system, you have to literally maintain that. Did they?
Well, when the market opens up for techies that you have to pay that are Microsoft certified.
They're going for how pretty much Samsung did with their liquid cool systems on their new phones, where they have it where it's insulated. You don't have to replace the liquid. All it does is it displaces the liquid from one part of the chip to the other, and that process continuously happens to keep the temperature from going too high. But there are potential things that can go very wrong with it.
Leaks and whatnot.
Exactly. We will have leak rings of death.
Yeah, we will. We will. We're gonna and just like before, where like with the red ring of death and the warranty, and GameStop always asking you, hey, do you want to buy the warranty? You know, it's only like $10 extra or whatever just to get this warranty.
At this point with Microsoft, you might as well buy it.
You might as well buy it, dude. And like, I'm gonna warn as much people as I can. A liquid cooling like device in your own system that is not maintained, and it's a console, so people are just gonna leave it on, and that's gonna be a problem, and that's gonna cause a lot of fucking like destruction to like people's like home, and like did they figure out a way to like actually do a water-based, liquid-based cooling system that doesn't need any maintenance? Because I supremely doubt that.
Well, none of the liquid-based stuff is water-based. It's kind of like a mineral. It's mineral oil pretty much, and like I said, it pretty much displaces the liquid from one section of the chip to the other section and vice versa.
Yeah, but how does that keep it cool though? Like,
it's not that it gets cool; it just doesn't necessarily
get
hot.
overheat. Yeah, pretty much.
Then what's the point of having it if it's not?
Melting. That's its only job. That's the one.
Just to slightly keep it from melting. Oh my god. Alright, dude. So this is our final thought. If you're tuning in, thank you so much for supporting the podcast. Thanks again to my to our special guest Graham over there. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thanks for your input, my man. You know, my man, he said it's been a long time since you like played newer games, and now like your input is like really like, yo, that's a different perspective for somebody who hasn't played games in a hot minute since like what, the PS1, PS2 era.
Yes, PS1.
Yeah. So yeah, it's been a while. And
does that mean
say again?
Does that mean I'm vintage?
Yeah, man. Retro, vintage, all the above. We still need perspectives like this, you know?
Vintage Graham.
Vintage Graham, you know, yo, I like it. I like it a lot.
Darn, you know, right.
Alright, dudes. This is AlterElement, aka Jordan Fleming here.
And this is Xavier, aka Nomad 0X.
Thank you guys so much for watching the podcast. If you're just tuning in, go ahead and hit that follow button on Twitch. It's absolutely free. Do what you can to support your boys. Also go to AlterElement Games on YouTube.com. I do some videos on game design and podcasts like these. I posted up if you missed it. And thank you so much for supporting the channel. Thank you guys so much for supporting us and giving your like valid opinions, you know, later or after the podcast, and give us feedback on like how we can improve, you know, later down the line. And tell us how you feel about E3, either here or on Twitter, you know, for me and for Xavier, you know, and let us know how you guys feel about like what can they do to improve for later conferences, because what we want, man, we have a whole bunch of stuff that they like what we want for like future conferences, man. More VR, more HoloLens,
More innovation.
more innovation. Alright, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. This has been Pixel Vision Podcast. We'll see you dudes next time. Stay chill. Peace.
I don't have a map or anything. She said she was following her heart. Games later.
What the hell kind of lay down is this?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Alright, dudes. I'll see you later. This has been Jordan signing out.